Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesdays with Wendy, where we make small business ownership less stressful one step at a time. Today, we are talking about the mileage deduction for your business. Everybody knows that miles driven in your business are tax deductible. However, you have to be careful because not every mile you put on your car counts as a business mile, even if you're self employed. So, today we're going to talk about which miles do and which miles don't, and what you need to do to make the IRS happy and support your mileage deduction. If you don't know me, my name is Wendy Kane. I'm the owner of Kane Accounting and Financial Coaching. I do bookkeeping and payroll for independent contractors and small businesses so that you can have peace at tax time and throughout the rest of the year. Okay, so the mileage deduction for 2025 is 70 cents per mile. So that means, like, say you drive 1,000 miles during the year for business, you can deduct 70 cents of each mile. So that's 70% of 1,000, which is $700. That's not small change. I mean, that's a pretty good deduction. Keeping track of your mileage is definitely worth it for your small business, especially if your small business involves a lot of travel. Okay, but like I said in the beginning, not every mile counts as a business mile. So here you go. We wake up in the morning, we're at our house. We don't work from our home. This will be important, okay? We have a place of business or we have clients elsewhere. When you drive from your house to your office, that is not tax deductible. The IRS knows you have to go to work. I mean, you just do. You have to get there. So that doesn't count as a business mile. But then once you get to your office, if you then drive to a client's office and come back to your office, or even just drive to a client's office, that mileage to the client's office is tax deductible. That's good. If you need to run business errands, you need to go to the post office, you need to go to FedEx and ship something, you need to go Office Depot and pick up a print job, those miles are also tax deductible. Now, let's see. I've got my notes over here. Let me make sure I'm not missing any. Yes, driving to meet with a client or a vendor. If you and a vendor are having lunch, you can deduct those miles that you drive to the place to eat lunch. Let's see. This gets very technical. I don't think I'm going to go into all the detail. I mean, I've done 2 hour continuing education sessions on just business mileage. So I won't subject you to that. Temporary work locations, if for some reason you're not in your office, but you're in another location, driving to that location, if it's expected to last 1 year or less, is generally deductible. Like I said, not the home to think it gets complicated. But it could be deductible. We'll go with that. Driving to a business conference, that is deductible. Um, okay. If you're home, if you do have a home office and that counts as your business location, let's see. Yes, then you can deduct mileage from your home to other business locations, but you have to have an appropriate setup business use of home type of thing. And that's not as easy as some people make it seem. So, anyway, I won't go into more detail on that. Just be careful. If you're leaving from your home to go somewhere, sometimes it's deductible, sometimes it's not. Okay? In general, it's not. You will never have a problem if you don't deduct something, okay? Um all right, let's see. So, what kinds of miles are not tax deductible? Well, I already said driving from your home to your office, that's not deductible. If during the day you need to run a personal errand, let's say during the day it's over lunchtime and you're like, man, at lunch, I'm going to run to Walmart and pick up some stuff for supper tonight. That's a personal errand. It is not tax deductible. You can't deduct that. Even though you leave your office, go to a place and come back, but that's a personal errand. It's not business. Okay. Again, your regular commute. It gets into ride share, Uber, Lyft. I'm not going to go into those details because they're very specific, and obviously I could do a whole session on those types of clients. So we won't tackle that today. What I do want to mention though is, okay, let's say you do drive a lot for your business and you want to deduct mileage on your tax return. Well, how would you document that? How do you prove to the IRS, if you're audited, that these are actually business miles? What you need to do is download an app that will keep track of these trips for you. So I don't have a recommendation of one specific app because I personally don't drive. I stay right here pretty much most of the day. And so I don't use an app. Some of my clients do. I think QuickBooks has an app, or their app will track mileage. Mile IQ is another. I've never used them, so I don't know. I would Google for mileage apps. There's a bunch out there. Read reviews, find one that works for you and your situation. What you want it to track is the date, the time, and a lot of them are like, you get in your car, you push start, and it records how far you drive. And then when you get to, say, the client's office, you hit stop. And then after you're done meeting with the client, you get back in your car, you hit start, you drive back to your office, you hit stop. And so it tracks those miles and it'll take date and time. And I believe the app has it where you can enter who you'd met with, what you talked about, all that kinds of thing. What you don't want to do is just guess. I've seen this a lot. And when I used to do tax returns, I mean, we did this. I don't know how many held up in audit because I wasn't the main person. I wasn't in the audit if anybody got audited. But what we used to do is go, oh, let's see, a year's worth of mileage. You probably drove about 1,000 miles a month because that's the general amount of car mileage you put on cars. So it's 12,000 miles a year. Yeah, the IRS knows about that. And if you get audited, they're going to go straight to you and say, where are your mileage logs? Like I said, the date, the time, where you drove from, where you drove to, who you met with, and why. And if you can't produce that, they're going to disallow that deduction. And you don't want that to happen. So, in order to make sure that doesn't, you need to make sure you're keeping track of your mileage. And like I said, the easiest way to do that nowadays is with an app. Back in the day, we had to have, paper records, which no one kept. That's why we estimated it, which was wrong. So don't do that. But even now, there's no excuse. You have an app. Your phone is with you all the time, right? Yes, I know, mine's with me. So find an app, download it, learn how to use it, hit start when you start driving, hit stop when you stop. That will keep track of everything. And then you will have an accurate number to put on your tax return. And if you ever get audited, which we hope you don't, but if you do, you've got the information right there. And they're more likely to let that deduction stay than to question it if you have all of that documentation. All right. I hope that was a good, quick, high-level overview of business mileage. Like I said, we could talk about this for another hour. So if you have questions, let me know. Send me a message, send me a comment down below if you have another question, and I will answer it in an upcoming Facebook Live. All right. Remember, no one is born knowing how to do this. Trust me, you can't make this stuff up. No one's born. It's not taught in school. If you're feeling lost and overwhelmed, you are not alone. That's why I'm here to help you. Go to my website, sign up for my newsletter, and you can get more timely tips like this. Y'all have a good day.